Ares is the Olympian god of war. However, unlike Athena, he represents merely its destructive capacity and is typically personification of sheer violence and brutality. Consequently, he was loved by neither gods nor by men. That is, with an exception of Aphrodite, who bore him many children out of wedlock. Quite appropriately, Ares' name seems to have been the ancient word for battle or war. In art, Ares is usually represented wearing a helmet, a shield, and either a sword or a spear. He drives a 4-horse chariot and is accompanied by dogs or vultures. Sometimes his son, Deimos or Phobos, are also depicted beside him. Unlike his nobler Roman counterpart, Mars, Ares was an unpopular god and never developed beyond the image of a divine, battle-frenzied butcher. Consequently, only a few epithets have reached us. Unsurprisingly, few of them are flattering. The bane of mortals, the slayer of men, the city stormer, the armor-clattering, and the arm-bearing. Ares was the oldest of Zeus and Hera's children, and according to those who think Hephaestus was born through Parthenius, only son. Either way, he certainly had 2 sisters. Elisea, the goddess of childbirth, and Hebe, the goddess of eternal youth. Since he was the savage god of senseless war, Ares was almost universally detested. At one point, after Ares was wounded in battle by Diomedes, even Zeus calls him the most hateful of all gods, remarking that if he hadn't been his son, he would surely have ended up in Tartarus with Kronos and the Titans. Dang, I thought I had family issues. The episode with Diomedes is only one of many in which Ares comes off second best in his martial encounters. During the Trojan War, Athena needs no more than 1 stone to floor him, after which she spends some time mocking him and bragging of her superiority as a warrior. Heracles defeats Ares not once, but twice, first during the Battle of Pylos, and again after killing his son Sisinus. Most humiliatingly, Otis and Ephialtes, the Elode, once managed to kidnap Ares and imprison him in a bronze jar for 13 months. Homer says that if their stepmother, Euryabia, hadn't told Hermes about it, it would have spelled the end of Ares. Ares had many women, but none of his affairs were as famous as the one he had with Aphrodite. At the time, the goddess of beauty was married to Ares' brother, Hephaestus, who was told by Helios of his wife's transgressions. Hephaestus fashioned a delicate, almost invisible bronze net, which he put on the bed where Ares and Aphrodite were supposed to lie. They finally did in his absence. He stormed into the room with a host of gods. The Olympians laughed for days at the helpless and trapped lovers. However, it seems that in this case, Ares had the last laugh, since Aphrodite bore him at least 3 and as many as 8 children. Hesiod lists only Deimos, Phobos, and Harmonia. Later authors include Adresia and some or all of 4 of the Eurotes, Eros and Tyros, Pathos, and Himerios. I am probably not pronouncing those wrong, and I am so sorry. Ares can rarely be seen alone on the battlefield. He is typically joined by a bloodthirsty crowd, a number of infernal associates, symbolizing the terror of war. His sons, Deimos, or panic or dread, Phobos, meaning fear, are almost always beside him. The same holds true for Ares' comrade and sister, Eris, or strife, and Io, the sacker of cities or sister of war. Sometimes Kidomios appears as well, the personification of the confusion and the muddle of battle. Most frighteningly so are the Keres, the grim-eyed female spirits of death, dressed in clothes crimson with human blood. Ares was associated with many Belkios. heroes in Greek mythology, such as the aforementioned Sisinus or Diomedes of Thrace, whose man-eating mares Heracles was supposed to capture for his 8th labor. Probably with his daughter Harmonia, Ares fathered a whole race of warriors, the Amazons. Altera gave him the most famous four: Hippolyta, Anthrope, Melampe, and Penthesia. In recent times, Ares' name is used by many sports teams, like the Greek team Aris Salonikia. It is a common misconception that Ares is a universally hated god. While it is true that he is not beloved as some other Olympian gods, there are communities in the ancient Greeks, such as the Spartans, who held Ares in high regards. They saw him as the embodiment of courage, valor, and military strategy. Another misconception is that Ares is a god of war and destruction without any redeeming qualities. However, it is essential to note that Ares is also associated with the idea of taming chaos through strict discipline and unwavering courage. He is believed to possess a clear sense of duty and honor, particularly when it came to protecting his children and allies. Ares fathered a daughter, Harmonia, with the goddess Aphrodite. This union resulted in the creation of a sacred necklace, which was given to Harmonia as a wedding gift when she married the Theban king Cadmus. This necklace would go to play a significant role in the city's history, and the mythological narrative of Thebes would continue to intertwine with Ares and his lineage. Another interesting tidbit about Ares is his connection to the Areopagus, an important council and court in ancient Athens. The Areopagus, translating as Ares Hill, was named after the god, and was believed to be the site where he was tried for the murder of Poseidon's son, Halirrhothios. According to the myth, Ares killed him for attempting to violate his daughter, Alcippe. In a groundbreaking trial, the gods acquitted Ares, marking the establishment of Areopagus as a place of justice.